What's up? Welcome. Thank you for clicking on the video. So, in the last couple of weeks, apparently Iran tried to assassinate Donald Trump, and then Trump dropped 14 big goddamn bombs on their faces. So, they probably did. But no mainstream news outlet is ever going to actually talk about it other than Fox News, and well, they're just too far to the right for me. So I'm gonna let Papa Nux here teach me. Full disclosure, I was really hoping to get this out 2 days ago on the 4th and have this be like a 4th of July special, but we are here on the 6th, so just a regular day. But that time, Iran tried to assassinate Donald Trump. Narrated by Nux. Let's get into it. This is going to be fun. I cannot wait. All right, let's go, baby.
The Prime Minister of Israel just released intel that Iran.
Oh, no, 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 no.
The Prime Minister of Israel just released intel that Iran is planning an assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Now, a lot of people said, oh my God, he's just fear-mongering. This is just happening. Endless fear-mongering. Well, he went on to Fox News for 30 minutes to do a hardcore interview with America, right? The Prime Minister of Israel went on to Fox News for half an hour, all right, and got blasted and blasted back. And I didn't see the interview yet, but people told me it's insane. And, BB hit back with straight fire. So currently, for those of you unaware, there is something of a drama going on in the Middle East between Israel and Iran. To give you the TLDR, Iran was enriching uranium to develop nuclear weapons. The UN found them guilty of enriching uranium and breaking past what was legal for them to do. And if they develop nuclear bombs, that would be very bad for everyone in the world. So what does Israel do? Israel decides, you know what? Enough of these dumb motherfuckers. And annihilated the shit out of them. Blew up all their most of their nuclear facilities.
And then we finished off the rest. This is before the Operation Midnight Hammer.
A lot of their actual offensive capabilities, because they are a terrorist nation that sponsors multiple terrorist organizations. Okay? They are bad guys. Trump said, either stop your nuclear program or we're gonna bomb you. They did not stop their nuclear program, and they were bombed. So, before we dive into this, I wanted to show you a couple of old clips to give you some actual context onto what's going on.
Oh,
and then
yeah, make me laugh.
The worst political takes of all time, both on the far right and on the
make
far
me
left.
laugh
We got
harder.
Hassan Piker and Candace Owens literally holding hands beyond the horseshoe, finding a way to both agree on the wildest statement of all time. Lock in, boys and girls, because I have a glorious episode for today. My thoughts and prayers, obviously, go to every innocent person, every innocent victim hurt on every side of this war. However, realistically, Iran is bombing civilians, and Israel is tactically sniping actual nuclear scientists and generals. So, hey, I guess we'll see what happens. Anywho, I wanted to show you this old clip of Trump, because, I mean, this is a brand new clip of Trump. Then I'm going to show you an old clip of Trump. Check this shit out, bro. All right, so MSNBC has a question for Donald. So the question was, in case you couldn't hear over the helicopter, have you asked Israel to pause their airstrikes into Iran? First of all, the dumbest question of all time, Israel's airstrikes are literally targeting nuclear facilities that Trump said would be bombed unless you stop. Okay, so here's Trump's response.
I don't want to say that.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. I don't want to tell them to stop bombing you. This is literally the best day. If you're an American that loves America, like I am, this is the best day to be an American. It is. This is the enemy of America getting crippled in a way that America wanted them crippled without America going to war. This is the
He's right, by the
best
way. You see the smile on their
timeline
face? It's
if
so
you're
big.
American. Now, ironically, this is Trump from a couple of months ago talking about how Iran did attempt to kill him.
The threatening country, in this case Iran, that if you do anything to harm this person, we are going to blow your largest cities and the country itself to smithereens. We're going to blow it
Bro!
to smithereens. You can't do that.
Fafo.
and there would be no more threats.
There would be no more threats on my life because we would obliterate you.
There would be no more threats. But right now, we don't have that leadership or the necessary people, the necessary leaders. We have two people, not one. We don't even know who our president is right now.
Right, so this was Trump
We do now.
before he became president, while he was rallying after the assassination attempt, where he said, Iran, nice try, we're going to obliterate the fuck out of you. If you actually look at headlines, U.S. charges man over alleged Iranian plot to kill Trump. Trump says he's given advisors instructions for Iran to be obliterated if it assassinates him. DOJ brings charges in an alleged Iranian murder-for-hire plot against Trump. Iran ordered an operative to assassinate Trump before the election, federal prosecutors say. Exclusive Secret Service ramped up security after intel of Iran plot to assassinate Trump, no known connection to shooting. Iran, Trump, and the third assassination plot. This is not new news, all right? Iran has been trying to assassinate Trump for a long time, and Netanyahu says that there is a lot more evidence that that is going on right now as we speak. But I hope you lock in, because you are on the ride of your life, baby. The ride of your life. So this is what Trump tweets. I gave Iran a chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they couldn't get it done. This is talking about the nuclear deal. I told them it would be much worse for anything than anything they know, anticipated, or were told, and the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world, by far, and that Israel has a lot of it, so much more to come, and they know how to use it. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know it was about to happen. They are all dead now, and it will only get worse. Oh, Lord. There have already been a great death and destruction, but there is still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there's nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it before it's too late. God bless you all. All right, so that's what the Donald said first. The next Donald tweet was even more nuclear. 2 months ago, I gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make the deal. They should have done it. Today is day 61. I told them what to do, but they just couldn't get there. Now they have perhaps a second chance. Holy fucking shit, this guy's on fire. He keeps going. He keeps going. The U.S. had nothing to do with the attack on Iran tonight. If we are attacked in any way, shape, or form by Iran, the full strength and might of the U.S. armed forces will come down on you at levels you've never seen before. However, we can easily get a deal done between Iran and Israel and end this bloody conflict. See, this is like the craziest strategy of all time. Ultimately, the goal is Iran should not have nuclear weapons. They sponsor terrorist organizations everywhere. They should not have nuclear weapons. It's literally as easy as that, okay? It's as easy as that. Now, Israel is bombing the nuclear sites while Trump is saying make a deal. This is like the ultimate fucking strategy. It's insane. And Americans aren't dying in a war. Another colossal W.
I know, right?
Iran and Israel should make a deal, and we will make a deal. Just like I got India and Pakistan to make, in that case, by using trade with the United States to bring reason, cohesion, and sanity into the talks with two excellent leaders who are able to quickly make a decision and stop. I love how he calls every leader excellent when he's trying to get them to make a deal, and then when he's not trying to make a deal, he just fucking destroys them. Also, during my first term, Serbia and Kosovo were going at it hot and heavy, as they have for many decades, but this long-time conflict was ready to break out into war. I stopped it. Biden has hurt the longer-term prospects again with very stupid decisions, but I will fix it again. Another case is Egypt and Ethiopia. In their fight over a massive dam that is having an effect in the magnificent Nile River, there is peace, at least for now, because of my intervention. And it will stay that way. Likewise, we will have peace soon between Israel and Iran. Many calls and meetings have taken place. I do a lot and never get credit for anything. But that's okay. The people understand. Make the Middle East great again, bro. He cooks so hard. It's crazy. Now, obviously,
I love the Don.
Twitter is losing their shit and trying to get me killed. They're sending me endless amount of death threats because for some reason I don't want a terrorist state to have nuclear weapons. Kind of crazy how that is.
Yeah, it really
so obviously
is.
You have this guy saying July 6, 2025 with a clock. It's coming. Retweeting the Iranian military. 87,000 likes. Dude, slime out Nuxtaku for me, gang. Daily Iran military. 82,000 likes. Don't worry, the lore gets better. Nuxtaku, Twitch is hentai. The heat-seeking missile heading directly towards his location. Frick yeah, baby. Hells yeah. And then, hasn't tweeted since the 12th. Hashtag we might have gotten him. 100,000 likes.
Wow.
Important to note, this was trending on Twitter. We might have got him was trending worldwide on Twitter. For some reason. They're trying so hard. Dude, I'm just too based. I'm too based for the retards on Twitter.
You really are,
Breaking,
bro.
Iran has killed American, Canadian, Israeli VTuber Nuxtaku. 75,000 likes. Again, not Israeli, just Jewish, but to them, they just hate Jews. So, hey, why not? So I, of course, tweeted, Jaden and I are heartbroken right now. This is a meme from a while ago. Because this person originally started saying, Jaden Animations and I, because I used to react to Jaden Animations videos. And so I said, Jaden and I are heartbroken right now. Bro, you have no idea. You have no idea how much this aggravated them. And I did it on purpose. You don't understand. I say this stuff to bother people. You don't understand. It's
works.
the plan. Last time a Jew came back from the dead was a whole thing. Whatever, we don't want to talk about that right now. But you notice this tweet has 2 million views because people are not happy. Look who's back. 47,000 likes. Oh, this one's a banger.
Mom, we're ready to leave. Mom? Still alive.
They so mad. Anyway, you can't keep a good Jew down, I guess, bro. No, Lucia with all the flags is killing me. No, they even have a trans flag and a Mexico flag and a Palestine flag. That's how you know that I'm that's for sure. And what about this one? Oh, it's a bisexual 15-year-old. No, the bisexual 15-year-olds are trying to kill me. Anyway, I wanted to get into the responses to the current conflict because this is one of the craziest shits I've ever seen in my entire life. So Candace Owens makes this tweet regarding the war between Israel and Iran. Get ready, white American men. Silence, black woman talking. She's talking to white Americans. It's time for you to go and die for Israel again. Now, this is funny because I don't think Americans ever died for Israel unless it's Americans that volunteered to go to Israel, like to the Israeli military. But I don't think Americans ever died for Israel.
Just reading this tweet. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Candace Owens, you're a dumbass. Candace, you are a retard. Retard.
If you don't want to die for Israel, then you are an anti-Semite. Sign up and die in Iran for Netanyahu today, or just admit you hate Jews.
On behalf of white America, Candace.
This is one of the weirdest tweets I've ever seen in my entire life. Easily one of the wildest tweets I've ever seen. No one's asking white Americans to go die for Israel. Last I checked, this is just a classic tactic of being cringe. And the funniest thing is I found this old tweet of hers from 2020. Iran murdered 63 Canadian citizens in their missile attack and is now legitimately attempting to destroy the evidence, contain the black box, and blame the West. Shame on every single one of you leftist sociopaths that spent 2 weeks defending this abhorrent regime.
But now you are.
To this, Candace? Bro, Candace at 2020 would hate Candace at 2025. Like, what is going on? It's shocking. It is shocking to see her just shift like that. Like, this is a 5-year-old.
In my opinion, she's got her husband and Andrew Tate's penis so far down her throat, that's all she can say. Is whatever they're telling her to.
Tweet. It is wild. A lot of people don't know this. Iran contributed to the death of 1,000 Americans. All right? Between terrorist attacks run by Iranian proxies, like, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis. Like, they're all Iranian proxies, and they've all killed many, many, many American soldiers. Like, it is shocking to see this shit. Now, this is... okay, whatever. I'll show you this in a minute, because it's just kind of funny. So this is also a side-by-side of Tucker Carlson. I don't know what's going on with these people. I don't hate Tucker Carlson, but this was like a shocking one. This was shocking. All right, so first, let's see the old Tucker Carlson clips.
I'm just that in everything you see come from the government of Iran, there is anti-Semitism, which has got to be among the most off-putting things in the Western world. You know, I think what you say is you either stop your nuclear program or we will bring down an earthquake upon you using God's wrath.
So that was his take. Stop the nuclear program or we will fucking obliterate you. All right, that's what Trump has been saying, by the way. All right, keep going.
I do think, I'm sure I'm the lone voice in saying this, I think Iran deserves to be annihilated. I think they're lunatics. I think they're evil.
All right, so that's 2012. He's been pretty consistent,
Not
right?
that far off.
But what's going on in 2025?
Who says, no, we need to bomb the hell out of them. We need to defeat them like we defeated Saddam and Assad and Gaddafi. We need to take out this evil regime. That's his line.
So it's not about nukes, what you're saying. You're saying it's not about nukes, it's about regime change.
I think for sure.
Ex-Fox News host blasts complicit president for backing Israel after attacks in Iran. He says...
What do you mean backing? Dude, Trump literally co-signed these attacks in Iran. Like, what are we talking about? Trump said you have 60 days to make a deal, and they didn't make a deal in 60 days.
day 61?
The alternative option was bombing them.
Boom.
And they're literally bombing nuclear sites. Like, I don't understand. This is like the least controversial war, I think, ever.
The real divide isn't it between people who support Israel and people who support Iran or the Palestinians. The real divide is between those who casually encourage violence and those who seek to prevent it. Between warmongers and peacemakers. Who are the warmongers? They would include anyone who is calling Donald Trump today to demand airstrikes and other direct U.S. military involvement in the war with Iran.
Yeah, so...
He's got Qatari fucking oil fucking so far up his ass, he can't fucking think for himself either anymore. Tucker Carlson. Fucking sellout some bitch.
Definitely a wild shift for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people were very all for stopping Iran from having nuclear weapons. And for interesting enough reasons, right now, a lot of the grifters are grifting. Anywho,
yeah, well,
I find
bye-bye,
that kind of
Iran.
funny. I find that kind of funny, in my own personal opinion. Now, I don't want America to get super involved in an offensive attack. I do think if America contributes to the defense of civilians in Israel, that would be fucking awesome. Israel is definitely doing the world a net positive by bombing Iran, for sure, and the nuclear sites. But I don't want American soldiers to get involved in a war there. I don't. Now, realistically, anti-war is such a weird phrase because stopping Iran from getting nuclear weapons is anti-war. Iran is going to attack. They say they want to bomb America and bomb Israel. They say this all the time, all right? Why do you want people that directly call for your annihilation to have the means to contribute to that annihilation? Obviously you don't. It's insanity. Now, Nick Fuentes is another one of these interesting characters. He's also on the, I guess, far right, you can call him.
Yeah.
Nick Fuentes breaks down exactly why Israel would stand to benefit most from a Trump assassination. What is the common thread that ties all of this would be replaced by one another? Miriam Adelson. So essentially, this is a clip from Nick Fuentes talking about why Israel wants Trump assaneated. Okay? That's what he's saying. Israel wants Trump assassinated. That's his strategy. New tweet. New tweet alert. Woo! The pressure isn't coming from neocons. It's coming from Israel and the Jewish fifth column inside the United States. Israel has manufactured the entire crisis, starting with October 7th, and helped to install Trump with the goal of destroying Iran.
Oh my God.
Nick Fuentes, gay Mexican Catholic, white supremacist, as he calls himself, both simultaneously think that Israel is trying to assassinate Trump and trying to install Trump to help them destroy Iran. You can't be both. You cannot be both. Israel is not trying to assassinate Trump and install Trump at the same time. This is not a thing that is happening. That's retarded. Now, Hassan Piker is absolutely certain, okay?
If I remember correctly from one of Nux's earlier videos, I believe Nick Fuentes is a homosexual neo-Nazi. So, I mean, he's a walking oxymoron. So
he calls himself Catholic. I wouldn't call him Catholic. He calls himself Catholic. That's not. Listen. Now Hassan Piker, very cool. Far left, also retarded. So this is a video of a Israeli missile defense system positioned in a residential neighborhood. All right. So when Iran bombs Israel, the missile defense system went to intercept the missile. Right, so this is the missile defense system, literally defending the civilians that are being attacked, all right? This is the craziest shit in the world. Are you ready, bro? Are you fucking ready? This is the wildest thing you're ever gonna see in your entire life. All right, so missile defense system, literally launching missiles to block missiles, okay? To block enemy missiles into civilian areas, they are using defense missiles.
That's crazy.
This guy says the most revealing part of this video wasn't shown, but Israeli's missile defense system protecting Tel Aviv is inside a residential neighborhood. And so Hassan says everything Israel says is projection. Now, the reason why he's saying this is because Hamas in Gaza puts their missile systems inside schools and inside children's nurseries and inside playgrounds to shoot missiles at Israel. So when Israel retaliates, it maximizes civilian damages. So Hassan is saying it's projection because Israel also has missile systems inside residential neighborhoods. Except he's such a dumb fuck. These are defensive missile systems. Obviously, if the enemy is shooting a missile into a residential neighborhood, you need the missile defense system inside that residential neighborhood to block the missile. That is not the same as offensive missiles inside nurseries and playgrounds. Complete retard. Like, it's absolutely mind-boggling to see these people that do politics for a living just be complete ultimate levels of retarded, the likes of which you've never seen. But I don't even need to talk about what's going on the left. The left is so cooked in America, they have no opinions on anything anymore. They're just out there in the streets burning down cop cars. They have gone to some level of retardation never before seen by man. Now, this is just something funny before we actually get into the Netanyahu interview on Fox News. This is Iran's broadcasting network, all right? And here they are talking about how they just fired a bunch of missiles into Israel. They fired a bunch of missiles into civilian areas in Israel. And every single one of these missiles get intercepted in midair. As you can see, they're all gone. No more missiles.
Bye-bye.
They got intercepted, and they immediately cut away from the missiles. Oh, what about these missiles? These missiles are still going well. Oh, these missiles all get intercepted as well. Wow, that's pretty fucked up. And they're like, so that didn't work either, it seems. That's awkward. There's still one left, though. There's still one missile left. All right, this still missile, it might kill some civilians. That's what they hope for. They're shooting at civilians. Oh, that missile's gone.
And it's gone.
And then they just immediately kind of pan away and cut the broadcast because all of their missiles that were targeted at civilians were intercepted in midair. One of the wildest fucking news broadcasts I think of all time. It's like, look at our powerful missiles, and they all get intercepted in midair. Huge dub. Anyway, I wanted to look at the Netanyahu conversation on Fox News in regards to potential Trump assassination attempts. And lock in, boys and girls. This one's going to be crazy.
I'm here for it.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Washington for a special edition of Special Report. I'm Brett Baer. Coming up in a few minutes, my world-exclusive live interview with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the first since the Israeli strikes on Iran began. But first, this afternoon, a Fox News alert, the growing conflict in the Middle East, Israel launching a third day of airstrikes across Iran, Israeli officials advising Iranians to evacuate arms factories and threatening to use even greater force. Iran saying 128 people have been killed, 900 wounded so far. The Islamic Republic responding with missile attacks of its own, which have killed 13 people, wounding more than 360. Iran's foreign minister saying today his country will stop its attacks if Israel stops theirs. Let's get the latest now from Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst, live in Tel Aviv.
All right. Wait, where's the interview with the guy? I don't want to see what Trey Yingst is saying. Okay, Trey Yingst only talks for like a minute.
Afternoon, Trey.
Brett, good afternoon. Since the conflict began, Iran has launched more than 250 ballistic missiles into Israel. Overnight, 11 people were killed when some of those missiles slipped past air defense systems, slamming into residential areas. Hundreds more have been wounded. When we arrived at one impact site this morning, rescue crews were combing through the rubble.
Dude, dude, fucking tragic. Oh my God.
Of an apartment building in central Israel looking for
used to be an
survivors.
apartment building.
One man in his 50s named Meir was still trapped as his son, who had been wounded in the attack, waited to learn the fate of his father. Right now, rescue workers are digging through the debris following that Iranian ballistic missile attack that targeted central Israel. They are looking for survivors who are trapped under the rubble, including Meir, that father. His son Ofek is off.
So a lot of you might not know this. Most apartments in Israel now are being built with like one reinforced room in each apartment building. So when the missiles are coming, essentially the siren goes off, and anyone that's around these safe rooms jumps into the safe room to try to be safe in the safe room. And even if the missile strikes nearby, it collapses the building, but the safe room very often remains intact, just completely buried under rubble. So there is a good chance this person might be alive in this safe room, even though there's an entire building collapsed upon him. Now, just for reference, in case you're curious, just for reference, did you see how collapsed this building is? They took out the entire building.
Just for reference, it's insane that a civilized society needs to frickin' design safe rooms in apartment buildings that will survive missile impacts. Like, it's insane that that's something that someone has to do in 2025. That's just fucking nuts.
This is what the Israeli missile strikes have been doing.
Yeah.
They've been immediately flying directly into the bedroom of the general.
Yeah, that used to be a general. Now it's a fucking stain on the fucking carpet. That's all that's left of that dude.
That they are targeting. This is like the most precise targeting attack ever of all time. Look at this shit. The windows of the neighboring apartments didn't even shatter. That's how precise this shit is. Taking out specific targets. And then Iran is, they're trying to maximize as many civilian casualties as they can. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. We need that technology. I'm pretty sure Israel's and America work on this technology together. I'm pretty sure.
Trapped under the rubble, including Meir, that...
Where the hell do you think Israel got that technology from, guys? Come on.
Father, his son Ofek is off in the distance, still wearing his hospital gown after he was pulled from the blast site. He is hoping for a miracle today following this Iranian attack. Israel is responding to these recent attacks with more airstrikes targeting both military and energy positions inside Iran. Iranian media reports 128 people have been killed and 900 injured. We know among that list are Iranian nuclear scientists and top IRGC commanders targeted by Israel. Iran's foreign minister spoke today about the American support for Israel during the conflict. Now, in conversations with Israeli sources...
Well, I mean, Iran's been saying death to Israel, death to America the entire time. Dude, you don't understand. Iran has been saying Israel is small Satan and America is big Satan. They've been literally chanting this for years. They do not.
And they will be chanting it for more years after what Israel and then us just did to it. I mean, it's unfortunate that we had to do what we did. A lot of innocent people still died. Like, I understand that we did what we needed to do. There's still a lot of innocent people gone. While it's mostly Iran's fault, we still
not like you. They do not like me. Well, they don't like me for two reasons. One is because Twitter says that I am Israeli, and the other reason is because I am American. The two main reasons they hate me, and the third reason is that I'm Jewish. Damn, I'm really
yeah, you're pretty fucking screwed there.
It's not easy. Pick a struggle, bro. Oh, God.
I know, right?
Oh, Lord. But in case you're aware, yeah, so this is a clip of them literally saying that the Great Satan thing. On the side of justice. Fucking missile facilities. Let me see if I can find nice attack. Oh, what the fuck are you talking? Pretty sure it was 58 minutes. 58 minutes, something.
This is why I like Nux so much. He brings his own receipts back.
Who the fight was with.
Remember, Iran calls Israel the small Satan. It calls America the great Satan. And this is why for decades.
And then Hassan says it's true! He agrees that America's the great Satan. That's fucking insanity. It's like actually crazy watching this motherfucker. And then right after that, he defends the Death to America chants, which is the wildest thing you'll ever see in your entire life.
Americans living...
Chants!
I know this is a tough concept to grasp for Americans living in the comfort of their own suburbs, but close your eyes for a moment and imagine the most powerful force on the planet. It would have to be like an alien force with superior technology at this point, because there's no more powerful force in America. Just consistently destroying, consistently wiping out other countries in the region, and then, or even using like Canada to, with regular frequency, blow up parts of America. You have no retaliation. What would you think about that alien force? You would think that they are the greatest evil of all time. You would unite in arms. You would say death to that alien force every day.
So this is him going on an entire speech defending the Death to America chants in Iran. All right? I'm not even shitting you. That's the current state of the far left in America.
Forces, they are drawing a stark contrast in what is happening here. The Israelis are going after military and nuclear sites. The Iranians are firing ballistic missiles toward Israeli civilians. Brett.
Trey Yext in Tel Aviv. Trey, thank you. Joining us now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin.
Let's go. Let's see.
Not a good look there, guys.
Thank you. Good to be with you, Brett.
First of all, let me start at the beginning. Why did you launch this operation now?
Oh, shit.
Because they were close to nuclear weapons.
Because we were facing an imminent threat, a dual existential threat. One, the threat of Iran rushing to weaponize their enriched uranium to make atomic bombs with a specific and declared intent to destroy us.
By the way, the United Nations agrees, all right? I showed this in my previous video, but the United Nations says that this happened.
Second, a rush to increase their ballistic missile arsenal into the capacity that they would have 3,600 weapons a year, new weapons, within 3 years, 10,000 ballistic missiles, each one weighing a ton.
Not gonna lie. Either there's something weird with the lighting saturation, or Netanyahu looks like a fucking zombie. Holy shit.
Yeah, they did make him pretty white.
Right into our cities, as you saw today. And then in 6 years, 20,000. That's no country can sustain that, and certainly not a country the size of Israel. So we had to
Bro, Israel's the size of New Jersey, all right? It's got the GDP of Maryland. Imagine facing down 20,000 missiles. Holy shit.
It was the 12th hour. We did act to save ourselves, but also, I think, to not only protect ourselves, but protect the world from this incendiary regime. We can't have the world's most dangerous regime have the world's most dangerous weapons. We're protecting ourselves, but by doing so, we're protecting many others.
You know, I just want to press you on the intel on the nuclear part. Less than 2 months ago, the new director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, testified on Capitol Hill, saying that everything had been suspended since 2003 and had not restarted, that the nuclear program had not been restarted by the Iranians. So did something change from end of March until this week? Was the U.S. intel wrong?
The intel we got and we shared with the United States was absolutely clear. Was absolutely clear that they were working in a secret plan to weaponize the uranium. They were marching very quickly. They would achieve a test device and possibly an initial device within months and certainly less than a year. That was the intel we shared with the United States. I think we have excellent intel in Iran. I think we've proven that.
That's a big ball maneuver. Yeah, they proved it. You know how they proved it?
If they killed half the generals.
Taking out every single general in one day. Yes, he fucking smoked them. Holy shit, I think we proved that we have good intel by, taking out every single person of note in the entire country in just 2 seconds. Now, in case you were curious, this is the UN watchdog looking into Iran's nukes. Iran vows to ramp up enrichment after UN watchdog finds it breached the safeguards. That's the Times of Israel. The BBC, right? Britain. Watchdog finds Iran failing to meet nuclear obligations. Al Jazeera. This is a Qatar propaganda news organization. UN Nuclear Watchdog Board finds Iran not complying with obligations. Iran breaking the rules on nuclear activity, according to the New York Times. Trump warns of massive conflict soon if Iran talks break down. Well, he was right. That's the Guardian, right? It's literally everyone saying this.
And that is something that we couldn't possibly accept. Whether it would be 6 months or 12 months or 13 months is immaterial. Once they go that route, it's too late. And we will not have a second Holocaust, a nuclear Holocaust. We already had one in the previous century.
Bro, he literally mentions the Holocaust every single speech.
It is not going to have the Holocaust meted on the Jewish people. It's not going to happen. Never again is now, and we have to act now.
What is the goal of these strikes? You talked early in one of your speeches after the attacks began with a message directly to the Iranian people. Clearly, some of these strikes have targeted Iranian leadership, military, nuclear scientists, and other leaders. So is regime change part of the effort here?
I don't know what he's going to say, but the answer is yes. It is a resounding yes. Dude, I showed you this earlier. Patrick Bet-David. He's a conservative podcaster. He is Iranian. He himself says that this regime is a toxic regime, all right? Ever since 1979, when this regime came into power, through a rebellion, it has been...
As toxic as it may be, it's not our decision whether or not their regime changes. It's Iran's decision whether or not their regime changes. It should not be our choice to make. It should not be his choice to make. It should not be anyone's choice to make except for the people that are residents of fucking Iran. If the regime that's in charge of Iran right now wants to keep fucking getting bombed, then I'm sure that the people that fucking live in Iran don't want them to be in charge anymore. So just let Iran fucking deal with their own goddamn shit, right?
Endless conflict in the Middle East, all conducted by Iranian proxies. Think about all the wars that started because of Hezbollah, because of Hamas, because of the Houthis.
Do we have other countries coming over here saying, oh, we don't like that Trump's in charge now? No, they don't fucking do that. Did they do that while Biden was in charge? No, because they leave us to deal with our own fucking shit. It's exactly what we should be fucking doing.
Like, the Houthis terrorized Yemen. Hezbollah terrorized Lebanon, Syria, and Israel. All right? Iran are bad dudes.
Could certainly be the result because the Iran regime...
he definitely wants it. It's not just could be the result. He absolutely wants the regime change. For sure. And I don't even
I'm sure he does, but you can't say
I think it's basically left with two things. It's plans to have atomic bombs and ballistic missiles. That's basically what Iran has. They certainly don't have the people. 80% of the people would throw these theological thugs out.
He's right. The people in Iran are rebelling right now. They're chanting in the streets.
Good. Let them get a new regime. It's not up to us. It's not up to this fuck.
You don't understand. It is mayhem out there because 80% of Iran does not want Islamist, fundamentalist, extremist dictatorship.
You know, honestly, I think we might have to do a deep dive into that as well. I just watched a documentary on the 7/7 bombings in 2005 in England. Like the deep fission between the radical Islam and the everyday Islam, it's a massive freaking chasm, you guys. Like, and you shouldn't just be out there hating someone because they're Muslim, because it's a very small percentage of Muslims that bastardize their beliefs to this extreme. But I mean, hell, Pakistan and India are just different sects of Muslims. Um, it's all Muslim. It's just a different sect, just like Christianity. Like we got Protestants and what are the other ones. I used to be a Protestant. Now I'm mostly atheist. But I mean, we've got our own different sects that have different beliefs, but we're still all Christian. It's the same with Muslim. They've got their own different sects that do a bunch of different things. Like, choosing to hate someone just because of their overall belief is stupid.
I mean, they murder them, they oppress them for 46 years, they've yearned for freedom. I mean, they shoot women because their hair is uncovered.
Yep.
That's fucked up.
They do that.
Shoot students. They just suck the oxygen from this brave and gifted people, the Iranian people. And you know, the Persian people and the Jewish people have had an ancient friendship. Goes back to the times of Cyrus the Great. It could happen again. But again, the decision to act, to rise up at this time is the decision of the Iranian people.
He absolutely wants a regime change. Absolutely.
We decided to,
but it's still
because we saw enough uranium, enriched uranium, for 9 bombs, and all they had to do was weaponize them. We stopped that.
By the way, apparently, all the this is the rumor in Iran. This is the rumor in Iran that all the Iranian generals that weren't killed by Israel are Mossad agents. That's the current conspiracy theory in Iran, by the way, in case you were curious.
Which is probably what they wanted.
We're attacking their nuclear sites. We attacked their chief nuclear scientists working. It's like Hitler's nuclear scientists. Would you leave them? Of course not. We attacked their top command. I can inform you, Brett, that moments ago, we also got the chief intelligence officer and his deputy in Tehran, because we're now over the skies of Tehran. Our pilots, our brave pilots, are over the skies of Tehran, and we're targeting military sites, nuclear sites. That's what we're doing to take out those 2 threats. Unlike the Iranians, who your reporter said correctly, they're targeting our civilians.
Yeah.
They're bombing our civilians. So that's the difference. They're a terrorist regime. We can't have Iran have nuclear weapons. And by the way, our intel shows that they intend to give these nuclear weapons to their Houthi proxies and others.
Fuck that.
That's what I said last time. Oh, God.
Fuck that.
Yeah, because Iran has this cool strategy that they've been doing where essentially instead of directly engaging in warfare, they just arm their terrorist buddies to do it instead. You know, the Houthis, who have been bombing Americans, by the way, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, all these fuckers.
And that's nuclear terrorism on a global scale. It threatens everyone. And the last thing is, they have plans to develop intercontinental ballistic missiles. Right now, 8,000 kilometers, very soon, just add a little distance, and they can reach the eastern seaboard of the United States. These people who chant death to America, try to assassinate President Trump twice, killed 241 of your Marines in Beirut, killed and injured thousands of American soldiers in Afghanistan and Iraq, try to bomb a restaurant in Washington, D.C., chant death to America, burn the American flag. Do you want these people to have nuclear weapons and the
holy fuck, he is popping off. Oh my God.
means to deliver them to your cities? Of course not.
Yeah.
So we're defending ourselves, but we're also defending the world.
I want to talk about the nuclear threat, and I want to talk about President Trump. You just said,
my God.
Iran tried to assassinate President Trump twice. Do you have intel that the assassination...
I have people in my chat mad that he's pushing the U.S. into war. All right. Because you're a retard, I will explain this politely. Obviously, any nation in the world that gets into war wants the United States' help, okay? It's not their problem if they ask for help, all right? It's up to the United States if they want to join the war or not. However, every country has every right in the world to ask help from their allies whenever the fuck they want. So it is irrelevant if they want the United States to get involved in the war. Of course they do. Obviously, duh. No, what? Trump is shutting him down every time. He's, I think, assisting with finances in regards to defense, mostly right now, which is super, I think, appropriate. However, everyone has the right to say whatever they want.
Attempts on President Trump were directly from Iran?
Through proxies, yes. Through,
shit.
Through their
He's just straight up confirming this conspiracy theory. It's crazy.
intel, yes, they want to kill him. Look, he's enemy number one. He's a decisive leader. He never took the path that others took to try to bargain with them in a way that is weak, giving them basically a pathway to enrich uranium, which means a pathway to the bomb, padding it with billions and billions of dollars. He took up this fake agreement and basically tore it up. He killed Qasem Soleimani. He said, made it very clear, including now, you cannot have a nuclear weapon, which means you cannot enrich. He's been very forceful. So for them, he's enemy number one.
I'm not gonna lie. I agree. I actually agree with him. I do think Iran views Trump as enemy number one. He has not budged one instance. Biden, complete retard, Biden gave fucking money to Iran, released the sanctions, and helped them develop this shit. They were broke under Trump's first term, but Biden came along and helped them basically enrich the uranium. And Trump said, make the deal or get bombed. They didn't make the deal. They're getting bombed. And Americans aren't even in this war.
Well,
this is like a complete Trump victory. It's crazy.
Yeah. Look, they also tried to kill me, but I'm his junior partner.
When did
they understand that President Trump is a great threat to Iran's plans to weaponize nuclear weapons and use them.
When did you tell President Trump you were going to launch these strikes?
Look, I've been in constant contact with President Trump. We've known each other for many years. And obviously, we informed our American friends and President Trump, our great friend, ahead of time. We did. He knew about it, of course.
Bro, they did it on day 61. Trump said you have 60 days or you're getting fucked. 61 days passed and they got fucked.
I mean, there were reports that President Trump kind of helped.
Like, for real, like, when do you guys honestly think that they started coming up with this? Like, an hour after 60 days ended? Like, they've been working on this shit for weeks, if not months, you dumbass. Like, how do you think they did such a good fucking job? They had this shit down.
Helped you achieve your strategic surprise by publicly urging you not to attack when he already knew you had decided to do it.
Is
so
this
you
confirmed?
were closely coordinating with the U.S. throughout this process.
Look, we're fully coordinated, but understand that America, under President Trump, will make the decisions that are best for America. And that's the way it is. He understands that I, as the Prime Minister of Israel, the one and only Jewish state, must make the decisions that are important for the survival of my country, and he will do what is best for America. That is a relationship of mutual respect and mutual confidence.
Does Israel have the capacity to strike Iran's nuclear?
I mean, isn't that how every country should be? Like, you have a respect for that country to make its own decisions for its own people. Like, that's like what the people elect their people in charge to do. I mean, as long as you're not China or Russia or Belarus or, you know, there's a few of them, but you know, most of them, they're elected. Most of them.
Nuclear sites deep underground.
Well, we've certainly done quite a bit. We've destroyed the main facility in Natanz. That's the main enrichment facility. And if we need to, we'll add whatever is needed. But yes, we're committed to achieving both goals. And I'm not going to get into all of our objectives. I don't want to get into specific operational plans. But
no shit. Dude! No shit. What are we talking about? Duh! Duh!
Maybe at the end of this, I will pull up a quick vid about the Operation Midnight Hammer. That was a rounding success. There is no more nuclear sites in Iran. Like, that's all gone. Like, it's all gone. It's gone.
It's our existence, but not only ours. I think it's a wider.
Bro's not going to explain military plans on Fox News.
Here, of civilization against barbarism, of good against bad. I mean, this regime. Look at what it's done without nuclear weapons. It's just fomented evil everywhere. I mean, they've pushed international terrorism to the hilt into every part of the Middle East, in Syria, in Iraq.
Dude, think about how insane this is. Syria is helping Israel intercept ballistic missiles from Iran. Is that not insanity? Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Israel are on the same side here? How the fuck does that
how often does that
Iran
happen?
is like the fucking Madara Uchiha of the Middle East.
Shit.
Lebanon, where they had Hezbollah, Hamas, where they encouraged the Houthis, the great massacre of October 7th, the Houthis. That's what they're doing when they don't have nuclear weapons, including attacking American targets. So imagine what.
For those of you that didn't understand that reference, he's like Eisen from Bleach. Everybody hates that guy.
They'll do if they had nuclear weapons. And I'm always amazed at people who say they care about America and they don't want a war. They're right. This is a forever war that Iran is doing without nuclear weapons. And imagine what they will do if they have them. I think for the security of Israel, America, the world, we must make sure that they don't have these weapons and the means to deliver them. and they're working on both.
I just want to ask you about the nuclear sites. Fordo nuclear enrichment facility located deep inside a mountain. These are from Iranian nuclear experts. Inside this mountain near Qom. Esfahan, deeply buried facility where Iran stores its highly enriched uranium. In some ways, experts say it might even be more important than Fordo. The IAEA says it's a half-mile deep. So I guess the question
is he going to ask about military operations again? Dude, I'm telling you, there's a special level of brain dead that every reporter needs to be to start engaging in actual political discussions. Motherfucker, he's not going to explain to you his military operation, how he's going to take out a nuclear site a mile deep into a mountain.
The goal is destroying Iran's nuclear program. How do you do so without the 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs that really only the U.S. has? Have you asked President Trump to use that 30,000-pound
did not need
to get to those facilities?
I'm not going to get into my discussions with the president, but understand that his decisions.
That's right. It's not your business.
His decisions. As for these targets, we've destroyed in Isfahan the conversion facility they had. That's a very important facility that without which you can't really.
Bro, if the U.S. actually got involved, that shit would become flattened immediately. Yeah, no. How did he do this when there's soldiers on bases? Bro, they literally evacuated soldiers from embassies and bases before this.
Yep.
Like 3 days before this war started, they pulled out basically every single one of the American operatives in the region because they knew this was happening.
Build a weapon. That's gone. There are other plans that we have. I won't get into it. I think Israel has shown that it has, well, how shall I say it? We're the innovation nation that we're called that. Startup nation. So we have quite a few startups.
All right, we'll see.
And quite a few rabbits up our sleeve. And I don't think that
what the fuck does that mean?
I should get into that.
Okay.
What does that mean? Oh my God. Yes, sir. We've activated the beepers. Oh Lord.
Okay. Well, I mean, are you getting everything from the U.S. that you've asked for? Is there something that you've asked for that you're not getting?
Oh my God. This
what I'll say this is that
why does he keep asking these questions? What, you want him to just broadcast the weapons capabilities of a sovereign country currently in middle of war? What, for clout on Fox News? Like, come on, dude.
Appreciate President Trump's decision to help in the defense of Israel. American pilots are shooting down drones that are headed towards Israel, as do our pilots. American THAAD missile batteries are helping defend Tel Aviv and greater Tel Aviv area. American Aegis ships are in the Mediterranean. That's all a decision by President Trump, which I deeply appreciate. Again, his decisions on what to do at any given time is the president's decision. I trust his judgment completely.
Do you have any estimate on?
All right, well, we'll see what happens. I just hope everyone's safe. I don't, obviously, minimizing casualties is, I think, the most important for sure.
How much you have set back Iran's nuclear program?
I think we've set them back quite a bit. I think they were completely surprised. And, surprise.
Oh, they were blindsided as fuck. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Is a great element of success. Remember the
Which
pagers?
Was really stupid.
Remember Nasrallah? That's part of breaking up the Iranian axis.
Bro, did he just confirm that ever since, this is like 9 months ago, when they wiped out Hezbollah with the pagers and shit, that was all part of the greater strategy to cook Iran now? Holy shit.
And we achieved that with surprise, and I think we achieved a great surprise the other day when we started. We could wait and wait and wait. They'd string along the negotiations. We gave them a chance. I gave them a chance. But it was clear they were not serious about it. It became clear, I think, to the United States as well, because the president was very clear. He said, you can't have nuclear weapons. And in order not to have nuclear weapons, you can't enrich uranium. And they basically strung everybody along. And it was clear to us it was going nowhere.
He's right.
I could wait and wait until they officially declared that the talks were off, or they, and we'd officially declare that we're going to attack them. That's not how I conduct wars, and it's not how Israel conducts wars. So we're geared to do whatever is necessary to achieve our...
I agree, by the way. I think a surprise attack against the top officials that already broke the nuclear sanctions is absolutely the way to go. It minimizes the civilian casualties 1,000%. But if you sit there, beat your chest, and declare shit, and they all hide underground, and you need to fucking bunker bomb the shit out of them, like, A, way less effective, and B,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Casualties. I think this is definitely a better move.
Dual aim.
It depends where the bunkers are.
Two existential threats. the nuclear threat and the ballistic missile threat. And we're doing that as we speak now in Tehran, but we're not bombing the population. We're telling the population, leave. So when we hit the targets embedded in civilian areas, you won't be hurt. And there's now mass migration from Tehran right now. That's what's happening. So because we're giving them forewarning.
Mr. Prime Minister, what proportion of Iranian air defenses do you think you've taken out? Back in October, the air defenses were really decimated. Now you say you have...
So October is when Iran fired 300 missiles into Israel.
Kind of control of the skies as you're picking these targets, yet these missiles and drones are still coming your way as they attack, as you point out, civilian areas inside Israel.
Well, you're right. First of all, we're doing a lot to prevent a lot of them from coming in, but it's not hermetic. You're quite right. But when I say we have control of the skies, you correctly said that they had a very dense anti-aircraft batteries between the western border of Iran and Tehran, and basically our incredible, there's no other word to describe it, our incredible intel guys and the Mossad, they did wonderful work to peel off the layers of protection that they had, and our pilots took them out. And so we have a free highway to Tehran, and we can now pick off the targets that we need in Tehran and other places without having our planes shot down. And so far, none of them have been shot down. And I hope that continues. But we are absolutely resolute to remove this threat. This is what you have to do when you stand at the brink of catastrophe. And I think it's not just our test. You know, Churchill talked about the slumber of democracies. He said that democracies tend to sleep until the jarring gong of danger wakes them up.
I see that. I mean, that's basically what, listen, not to get too involved in European politics, because those guys are kind of cooked, but, they knew some Nazi shit was going on in Germany, and they just kind of pushed shit off until it was too late and World War II started. Could you imagine how dope it would have been if they would have fucking annihilated the Nazi higher-ups before World War II started?
I mean, it would have made
things
things
easier. It might not
easier.
wake them up. Certainly, we didn't need a wake-up gong. I've been talking about the Iranian threat for 40 years. 3 years, I think, 4 years after the Iranian regime, the Ayatollah regime, hijacked Iran and the people of Iran. I said the greatest threat facing Israel and potentially the world is this regime that will try to arm itself with nuclear weapons. And I've devoted a considerable part of my life, in fact, most of my life, to preventing that. And when the gong of danger sounds, and you know it's the last moment, it's the 12th hour, you've got to act. That's what responsible leaders do. And what?
Yeah, I'm surprised, honestly, that there are people that are anti, Netanyahu attacking Iran right now. I really am. They're attacking nuclear sites that they were not allowed to have, that the UN said that they were getting there, that Trump warned them about, and he's attacking nuclear sites. I think anyone that's against
And now they're all gone, so it doesn't matter if you were against it or not.
this might be retarded. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of afraid that a lot of these people might be retarded. I can understand the sentiment of America not getting involved, but I cannot understand the sentiment of wanting Iran to have nuclear weapons.
What I seek is that the entire world will do what President Trump is doing. He's standing up for good against evil. He's standing up for the right against the wrong. He's standing up for good against bad. And I think that's very admirable. I salute you for it, President Trump.
The president's also, however, Mr. Prime Minister, calling for Iran to get back to the table, to the negotiating table. You don't seem to be saying that that's worth it. How does this end?
Well, in fact, I said it is worth it if they'll do what the president wants.
True. Trump said, just stop making nukes and we will not attack you. They said no, they got attacked. This is like the classic fuck around, find out that I live on.
It really is.
Eliminate their enrichment capacity. You know, that's a lot better than my country, my forces, my brave pilots having to do it. It's much better than our Mossad operatives on the ground having to do it. But if they don't do it, and they certainly didn't want to do it, it became very clear, we had to act. We don't wait until we have a nuclear holocaust. That's not going to happen again.
So how does it end?
Well, it'll end when we remove those capacities, and we will.
Stop short of killing Iran's civilian leaders, just military commanders. I mentioned nuclear scientists, but not the supreme leader, Khamenei. There is a...
Did he call him Khamenei? Khomeini, Khamenei?
The Reuters report just moving, saying that President Trump in the last couple of days vetoed an Israeli plan to kill Iran's supreme leader, according to 2 U.S. officials. Is that true?
Actually, there's so many false reports of conversations that never happened, and I'm not going to get into that, but I can tell you, I think that we do what we need to do. We'll do what we need to do. And I think the United States knows what is good for the United States, and I'm just not going to get it.
Okay. The Iran foreign minister today told reporters this: if Israel stops attacks on Iran, quote, our responses will stop. The attack on Iran in the midst of nuclear talks clearly demonstrates the Israeli regime's opposition to any form of negotiation. Of the canceled talks that were intended to take place today, he said Iran would have presented a counterproposal that, quote, could have opened doors for an all-out agreement with the Americans. So, again, the foreign minister saying, if you stop, they will stop. What's your response to that?
Well, first of all, it's hogwash. While they were negotiating, the Ayatollah himself, Khamenei, tweeted again and again, death to Israel. Israel must be destroyed. So some good faith there, right? Aside from that, they had bad faith because they were cheating, and we saw it in our intel. It was very clear. And the U.S. had that same intel. Believe me, we shared it. We share that intelligence. One of the great things of our unprecedented cooperation that has happened under President Trump is that we share every bit of information. So number one, he's lying.
All right, we'll see.
That's not new. Iran lies all the time. They cheat. But the second point is that they say, okay, we'll stop if you stop. Stop what? You'll continue to develop your engines of death, mass death, continue to develop your nuclear bombs, continue to develop the ballistic missiles like the one that fell in Tel Aviv, near Tel Aviv today. I was there, the whole building just slammed through.
Yeah, I saw those images. It's terrible. It's awful.
Horrible stuff.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, they'll stop and continue to develop the means for our extermination. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, Doug, imagine being a country and you have another country that's literally saying out loud, outright, all the time, we want to annihilate you and obliterate you. We want to wipe you out, okay? And we are developing the means to do so. Again, how the frick could you be against a country stopping that other country from developing nuclear weapons? I am actually in shock that you have retards that actually think this is insane. It's mind-blowing.
So obviously,
like the Hassan Pikers of the world, like complete retards.
That's not said in good faith. The issue here is not
Sorry, guys. My wife wants me to go to McDonald's and get her a crack, which is Coke. So, honestly, I'm getting kind of bored of Netanyahu yabber. So we're gonna. I didn't mean to do that. Correct. We're gonna get out of this because this got boring. So, no real news about. I think it was on CNN. I know it's not the best one to do, but you guys are killing me. There's a video. I can't find it, so I'm not gonna keep trying. But there is a video if you want to go out there and find it. There is a video where it shows all 3 holes on the one side and then the 3 holes on the other side of the ridge. And it's just 6 little holes at the top of this mountain. And then all of the exit tubes, the tunnels to lead out away are just gone. They're just fucking gone. Do you understand? Like, do you understand that? There's little holes on this side of the mountain, and then the tunnel on the other side of the mountain is just a fucking dust cloud. It's nothing but dust because that's all that's just dirt and sand that's now laying on top of where it used to be because that's all that's fucking left. Do you know how fucking hard the explosion had to be going outside of that fucking tunnel from inside the tunnel where all the uranium went boom because it got blown the fuck up? It's all fucking gone. All of it. All right, well, that's it for this one. I need to go get my wife some Coke. So I will see you guys later.